For more than a decade, Justice Anthony Kennedy was the decisive vote in some of the biggest Supreme Court cases in generations and considered one of the most influential figures in America. And tonight, in a rare on-camera interview, the retired justice speaks about his legacy, from Bush v. Gore to abortion to same-sex marriage, and the future of the country in these turbulent times. Here's our senior Supreme Court reporter, Devin Dwyer.
You don't hear cases anymore, but do you still informally weigh in behind the scenes?
No, very careful about that.
Retired Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy is a giant in American law and still at the center of where landmark decisions are being forged.
Do you miss the work?
Oh, of course.
You do?
Oh, yeah, of course. But I don't know what AI is. I mean, really, it was time for somebody younger. Younger.
At 89, Kennedy still keeps chambers inside the court, just steps from where his colleagues are making history.
The monumental docket that this court right now is dealing with, the tariffs and the firing power of a president, birthright citizenship, race and gerrymandering.
Many of them on emergency motions.
Yeah. I mean, is the collective magnitude of this moment really as significant as a lot of us feel like it is?
I think so.
Yeah.
Kennedy gave us a rare look behind the scenes at the court as he promotes a new book looking back on 30 years on the bench.
You always said you didn't fit the mold of a conservative or a liberal or an originalist or a progressive. You sort of defied all of those categories.
There wasn't one philosophy, one theory that was so prominent that I wanted to adhere to it.
For over a decade, he was considered the man at the center of a narrowly divided court, casting key votes on free speech, abortion, the death penalty, and gay rights.
Time magazine in 2012 put you on the cover. What did you think when you saw this?
Well, it was interesting for me. I thought it might have been a little overblown.
Kennedy reveals in his book that in 1992, as he crafted an opinion that would end up affirming a right to abortion, he was so conflicted he contemplated resigning.
It was necessary for me to put my name on a decision that the woman had a right to do what I thought was a grave moral wrong.
Were you in some sense relieved when the court overturned Roe then, years later?
I don't usually comment on the court's decisions. I just hope that there is a discussion in which the voice of the infant can be heard.
It was 25 years ago that Kennedy found himself at the epicenter of the contested 2000 presidential election. He now reveals that he was the justice tasked with writing the unsigned opinion in Bush v. Gore that ended the Florida recount and handed a victory to George W. Bush.
Would you have written it the same way if it happened today?
Well, I think it was right. The thought that we would see a legal impropriety in a presidential election case and let the case stand and not hear it? Hello?
On no set of issues was Kennedy's impact more sweeping than gay rights. His opinion struck down laws criminalizing same-sex intimacy and in 2015 extended marriage rights to same-sex couples nationwide.
How does a one-time altar boy from Sacramento, a devout Catholic, end up so passionately defending the dignity of gay and lesbian people?
It was a process over time. I began to learn about the hurt and the anguish and the desires these people had to live a wonderful life and contribute to our country.
Do you think your body of gay rights cases will endure?
Well, that's for the next generation to decide. Stare decisis, the rule that a precedent should be given great weight, in part depends on reliance.
Sounds like you're pretty confident it'll hold.
Well, we'll see.
This ring I give you.
In the decades since his landmark ruling on marriage, parts of Kennedy's opinion have become part of popular culture.
Equal dignity in the eyes of the law.
Words now read aloud at wedding ceremonies of all kinds.
It seemed to me a good lesson to teach that the law protects all.
Kennedy says his California roots and deep devotion to family left an indelible mark on his view of the world, early on learning lessons about our shared humanity and of love and loss.
The sudden loss of your sister Nancy, the loss of your mother, the loss of your brother Tim, all, I think, within a year. And later, the loss of your beloved son Greg. And that's a lot.
We often think that we're going to be knocking on heaven's door. We forget that the Lord is knocking on our door to say, remember how beautiful this world is, and remember how, despite sadness and grief, you can still find joy in the memories that you have and in the future that you build.
His future would take him to Washington in 1988, when President Ronald Reagan nominated Kennedy, then an appeals court judge, to join the highest court in the land.
You were the last justice confirmed unanimously. What does that say to you?
That partisanship has become too important. And I've told senators this, they have to look not just at political parties, but at judgment, temperament, experience, and so much else.
Intensifying partisanship in the Trump era and what Kennedy calls vulgar political rhetoric, he says, have thrust America into a crisis with global implications.
Somebody has to start setting the right example. We should have a campaign against vulgarity. We have a duty to show the rest of the world that free speech is necessary and that it works.
Do you still see this country as the example for the world?
It will always be an example for the world, but it has to be a good example. And we're falling a bit short of that. We have to work harder.
He says that goes for this Supreme Court as well.
I worry a great deal about it, and I'm very concerned that some of the cases attack judges, fellow judges. This is not the way the court should write its opinion.
Has the court changed significantly since you left?
Yes, I think so. Partisanship shouldn't be a major factor in your thought, and the hostile, fractious rhetoric, it seems to me, brings partisanship back. And that's wrong.
Is that part of your still being here, walking these halls, sort of trying to keep that message alive?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you say on that?
I don't know if they're listening, but
you try.
His audience includes two former clerks and mentees who joined the court in his footsteps, Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, now part of Kennedy's legacy.
Do you see your influence on them?
My hope is yes. They're wonderful. They're very, very fine judges.
Did it hurt in any way when they voted against your precedent in Dobbs? And
no, not a personal hurt. But you can't have personal hurt in this profession.
Humility in the law and humanity in public service. Kennedy modeling what he says he hopes the next generation will become.
Did you ever think you'd grow up to become someone who could help reshape American life in such a profound way that you did?
No, of course not.
You never liked that label of swing justice or decider. You really had some humility in what this court was doing.
You have to realize that you're a very small part of this ongoing search for truth and justice and wisdom and fairness.
How do you want to be remembered?
As being fair and honest.
I think he played a bigger part in that than he realizes. Our thanks to Devin Dwyer for that.